Salutations. Thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Philip Brandon, and this is To Whom It May Concern, the podcast. I want to welcome everyone. Hope everyone has had a wonderful week. I know for me, myself, it has been quite an eventful one. But there's just really never a dull moment in the life of parents, right? You constantly on the go, constantly on the move. Um, we definitely accomplish some really cool things. My wife and I this past week, so I'm super duper proud of some of those accomplishments. I'll probably share those a little bit later down the line. But just know I can check off something on my bucket list now. We did a thing, and it's been fantastic. Um, I'm super happy about that. Sometimes you just really got to key in on the blessings. I mean, you could really miss the blessings because maybe they don't come in a $10,000 check or a new job promotion, but sometimes there's just blessings in the chaos, and you just got to pay attention to it. And so that was two things happened, and I can firmly say that was nothing but God. So thank you, good man. My man Jesus, always looking out. Um, but yeah, I want to just touch base with you all. Hope everyone has had a fantastic week, and really get back into it again. I promise that this chat in this forum is not going to be predicated off of, again, we don't mudsling. I don't aim to down anyone. We'll talk about some things as I see it. We'll talk about business as usual, politics as usual. And speaking of politics, I've been seeing a lot of commercials, a lot of different tactics by both opposing sides, right? If you're of the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, there's a reason why you raise money for campaigns to tell your side. And I've seen a lot of different angles to which, let's just say I'm voting for the first time and I don't really have a party affiliation. These campaigns, and I like to call them smear campaigns, these smear campaigns make it very hard to be able to distinguish, hey, who should I really be voting for? So I just like to encourage, if you are a first-time voter, if you're on the fence, do your due diligence, really do your homework. There's a lot that's at stake, right? So you really want to key in on what is not just your party affiliation per se, but what are your beliefs, and what does that candidate represent for you? Don't just go based off of the commercials and what you see, but really dig down, do some homework. Even with your local delegation and your local elected officials, like it really starts there as well. So it's not just at the presidential um, tier, right? You really want to look at from top to bottom, and kind of make your decision based off of that. I get why a younger individual or even an older individual may say, my vote doesn't matter, my vote doesn't count. There's just so much banter that takes place among these parties, among these affiliations. And, there's a reason why I don't really discuss politics or my political point of view just in open forums. I think it can be divisive at times. It can cause you to lose friendships, relationships. But I would just encourage you that if, number one, please register to vote. That I wouldn't just sit still and not do anything, but register to vote and do your homework. We have enough time. There's so much information that is out there where you can be able to decipher which candidate best represents you. And so from Philip Brandon, from To Whom It May Concern, trust me, you want to make the right decision for you and for no one else. Make sure that it benefits you and speaks to you. That's my PSA. I'll leave it at that. All right. So back to the matter at hand. So, right now it's Sunday morning, and, I get re-energized on a Sunday. I think it's the best day of the week. Saturday is a grind for me personally. We're doing a lot of family stuff, a lot of work stuff too. Friday, I'm just exhausted. So, Monday through Friday just seems like it's merry-go-round. Sunday, I get an opportunity to just be present, slow things down for a second or two, and have an opportunity. Sometimes I record these sessions, sometimes I don't. But I was able to stay up a little bit late last night, and I witnessed an incredible game. Shout out to Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes for pulling out an overtime win over the Baylor Bears. That was an incredible game. Very, very close, down to the margins. You got to see that game. If somebody's pulled that up on their TiVo or DVR'd it, I mean, you had need DVR, keep YouTube it at this point. So go ahead and check out that game. But a much deserved win. First win, I believe, in the Big 12. Shout out Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffs. Excellent game. College football has not disappointed this year. I've been pretty locked in on a few teams. Nebraska looks like they're back. Texas is balling. University of Miami, whew, the U, they're doing their thing. So really, really cool to see college football back in action. For whatever reason, I go back and forth between NFL and college. So I think this will be my college year. Maybe NFL will be more interesting to me next year. So let me know if any of y'all feel the same way about, your college sports seasons. There's times when I do more professional, and then there's times when I'm like, oh, the college game is where it's at. Additionally, do any of y'all do any sports betting? Let me know. I'm interested. I don't like betting because I don't like losing money, but I'm also a risk taker. So if there's money to be made, holla at me. So yeah, if you all are interested or you do sports betting, let me know your thoughts on that. I'd love to be able to tap in and learn a little bit more. It's a little bit different than building your fantasy football team. It's high stakes. You can win a lot of parlays and things of that nature. So I've been seeing a lot, and that's piqued my interest a lot more these days. So I definitely have an interest in doing that. Okay, so I want to always, talk about, things that are culturally happening and going around, and what's some of the bigger, big news, if you will. And I know that the whole debacle, and I don't call it a debacle, but there's been some whispers of, oh, we got Kendrick Lamar performing at the Super Bowl. Okay, big deal. Kendrick's having a year. He dismantled Drake. His stuff is on fire. Now, I do say I would like to see, or would have, I don't know if Lil Wayne needed to headline that whole TV hour or that segment, but I think there should be a way to incorporate New Orleans in that mix. And if I know Jay-Z, if I know the Rock Nation team, if I know Kendrick, I wouldn't be surprised if they do pay homage and make sure that roots is incorporated somehow, some way, because you got Master P still, you got the Hot Boys, and of course Wayne. There's a lot that goes on in New Orleans, so hopefully they do right, and it's not just the Kendrick show, but they find a way to incorporate Lil Wayne. But yeah, I was a little shaking my head, kind of on the same bandwagon, like, oh man, how they do my man Wayne like that? And who knows? Who knows what it came down to? If it's a popularity contest, a voting contest. I heard Wayne say something to the fact of he wasn't ready, either, like, I guess, or mentally ready to be let down in that way. And I'm just having a hard time thinking that Jay would just automatically skip over him and not show love to New Orleans in that way. So I placed some money on seeing him at the Super Bowl. He just may have a reserved role. You feel me? Yeah, bet on that. But I wanted to actually talk about something that was a little bit more personal. Okay, so I know that I had informed you all. My wife and I, we've experienced some pretty cool opportunities in the past 6 months, and some cool things. And as a African American male, of a certain age, I never want to walk into a business opportunity or a potential um, deal to take place, and somebody not take me seriously, just on account of my skin color. I wear chains, hats, and all that type of stuff. And a lot of times I walk into these spaces looking authentically like me, because I do want to know. I want to make sure that people understand and they get, me, and this is kind of what you see. But also at the same time, um, I'm very keen on my business affairs, and there was an opportunity for my wife and I to pursue, let's just say, this new business venture. And after speaking with these individuals, my guard is now up. I think that we're being basically prejudged for who we are and how we appear, not knowing that we satisfy the same credentials as everybody else. You feel me? Um, I've never been cool with that. I've been in situations and work situations where, you know, my skin color was like the scarlet letter. And I don't like to say racism is still alive, but let's just be honest. There are just some cultures that just feel more comfortable with other cultures. And that is what it is. So that's the spade that I'm pulling. So now the interest that I may have had in a property or doing business with an individual, I no longer have, because I've saw your true colors, and you made me uncomfortable. You didn't make me feel welcome. You didn't make me feel like my money was good with your money. And so therefore, I will be backing out of the deal, and we won't do business. And that's okay. You'll find another business partner. It'll all work out in the wash. But as for me and mine, we won't participate. And so there's just a few different things that, as far as integrity goes, as far as the okey doke, I don't play that. I like to think that, business is all business is good business, but it always isn't, and it ain't all good. And when you start to feel that way about a business interest or a dealing, inspect that. And in this particular interest, I knew it was because, when we talked over the phone, I sound one way and you see me in person and I look a different way. And so now the judgment and the radars, and it's written all over your face. I could tell it's written all over your face. So um, it's cool. We'll move forward. There's, other fish in the sea. And so therefore I don't need to, get into that at all. But it did, it weighed on my mind for a little bit, so much so that I felt the need to speak about it today. So um, I just want to let everyone know, if you are, please don't let your skin color, your financial status, social status dictate your limitations. Don't play small on account of that, but also command respect. And that's just one thing that my wife and I just don't tolerate. We don't tolerate the disrespect. And so therefore I'm going to show love regardless. I try to look past, anything. I'm going to inspect everything. Just don't judge the book by its color. That's all I'm saying. Never judge a book by its color. I've done that before in the past. Totally unacceptable. And so therefore, having it done to me, equally unacceptable. It's just never cool. I promise you'll be a better person by not doing that. And again, hey, we'll go on to see another day, hopefully. But you won't get my business today. Capiche? All right, cool. Well, listen, we're going to wrap this up. I thank y'all for joining. This has been a great experience. Let me know if any of these comments or any of these topics have resonated with you all today. I promise you, we'll do our best to continue to bring you exactly what you're looking for, on To Whom It May Concern. Salutations.